Hi guys, Nomis here. Welcome back to Nomishavn for episode number 28. Today I'll be starting to build on this hillside over here, trying to create some very dense neighborhood with lots of shops and eateries and connected by stairs everywhere, with the focal point being a funicular running right through it. The first thing I will be doing is getting the stations and network for the funicular, as everything will be built around it. The funicular will start by going below the buildings, and at a point it will switch to elevated. In a little bit you will see me completely cover the funicular station with older style buildings. This funicular has been here for a real long time, and I want to look for the station to reflect that. I got the idea for this in an older video by Dirty H, where I built a beautiful funicular system going up to a winery, I believe, covering up the station and having some kind of arch where the funicular comes out. So I'll be doing my own twist on that general idea, with an aesthetic that fits the city. Also just getting in the main road networks, which will mainly be pedestrian and only allow service vehicles. It's going to be quite a big project filling in this hillside, so I'll do it over a few episodes, and today I will get up to right below the second station on the line. I've done a few hillside neighborhoods before, and I want to always mix them up a little bit and try to think about why they have developed the way they have. So where we're building now is very central, as the hillside is right by the big and old university, and past that very close to the Bjorgvin central station. Because of that it's pretty densely packed with buildings, cramped together, and narrow streets. This is something you can see in areas of Bergen, which has been a big inspiration for this part of the city. And you can also see it in other places in Europe, for example in Lisbon and also around Croatia, where you have pretty urban areas on hillsides. That opens up for some pretty interesting designs. The street drops in certain places, means you can't just run a path or road between the different elevations. A big part of the layout would therefore include a lot of staircases wedged between rows of buildings, with different levels where it meets the entrances of the buildings. Towards the end I will also put in small eateries and outdoor seating on these different levels between the stairs to spice it up. And it's also something I've seen in real life. As always I use these great stone stair props from the workshop, but to mix it up I do a trick with procedural objects that I've done a while ago, but will try to use more. And that is changing the texture of the prop, allowing me to have more variety. It also makes it easier to fill the gaps in the flat areas between the different stairs, as I can just put in a cube with procedural objects and use the same texture. Anyways, as usual, most of the video will be a sped up version of the build with music, and will pop back in to give some context on different parts of the build where needed. I had to cut out a lot of this build, as it took a ton of time, but you should be able to see the result of it all in the cinematics at the end. The funicular goes below the buildings at the start. I'm building it into this railway trench by using the Sydney stone walls, which is just great. At one point I have a small bridge crossing over it with the same arches I used where the train enters and exits the station. I'll detail up this rail trench later on, so I'll be back to that. makes sense to have a high school here, and for hilly areas like this, you kind of have to terrace off a larger area to get in larger footprint buildings. And I think it also helps vary up the look here. And of course with stairs going up on both sides of the quay walls. I merged together two different high school buildings, which is very clear they are different. The thought behind this is that the building had an extension to it decades later, which explains why a small part of it looks different. When we get up to this very rare case of a flat area, I want to give the neighborhood a church, and this one is just amazing and stands out really well, especially with the spire towering over everything when all of it is done. I'm also doing a small cemetery directly behind it. I'll detail all of it later. For the rest, I'm just trying to stick to the similar aesthetic of buildings and trying to use all the space, but as it's flat it's much easier to create normal city blocks. I also leave a little more space for a wider street, as I imagine this would be kind of a main street here where it's easier terrain. For the last elevation up to the second funicular station, I wanted to mix up the look a little once again. I'm adding in this super nicely decorated quay wall, while leaving open gaps so that I can put in stairs to get up there, while a road will come in from the side where the elevation is manageable but still very steep. And you can't forget about the rocks. This quay wall was built right into a cliffside, so it makes sense that you can see a lot of the cliffside still there at the lower end of the quay wall. Also, it just looks so damn nice with rocks. was a lot of detailing to do, so I did a sensible thing and started at the bottom. There's a nice restaurant here with plenty of outdoor seating, something that will be a recurring theme in the area, and of course some planters to fill in gaps. All of the surfaces will basically be covered in cobble. Down here I'm using this greyish one, and sprucing up the wall with some ivy. Before I move further up, I gotta add some branding in front of the station, so people know that this is where the funicular is. For the stairs I start adding fence railings. This is important for safety and it's a nice little detail to add. The method I do with these is pretty simple with procedural objects. I just go into the distort tool and pull down one end of the fence to align with the slope of the stairs. You also see me start adding cobblestone further up. I felt the colorful cobblestones had the right look to make this area pop. So I do my normal method of using the filler tool in IMT on the road networks. In some places I need to place them manually with PO for different reasons. Coming back to the high school, I wanted to add some uniqueness to it and give it a different set of tiles. These ones I've never used so far actually. And then it will just be the normal schoolyard detailing with bike parking, benches, planters, and some recreational activities like football and basketball. Now that we get back to the rail trench, I just want to explain a little about the detailing. First of all, some overgrowth always makes sense there. No need to explain that. What I also add is a bunch of street trash props. Not really pretty, but I imagine an area like this which is heavily trafficked by both locals and tourists with all the bars and restaurants. Some trash will end up down here. And I try to kind of center it around where the bridge passes over it. Seeing this spot, I just know some troublesome teens will do graffiti here. I imagine they would sneak down late at night when the funicular maybe has a break in service. I put up a few graffitis and I think it really is a nice little detail. Even in nice areas like this you can spot graffiti, especially in rail trenches. It is just a part of the urban landscape and can be beautiful. The last detail I add around that is some ladders. Well, lore for this is the kids were spotted by police when doing the graffiti and left the ladders behind when they ran away from them. I used some ladders which are actually meant to be stuck to walls on keys, but I used procedural objects to move the top part and then just rotate them into place. Because of the terrain, I can't use the sidewalk cafes most places, so I need to substitute them with props. So what I do here is just create these sets of tables with sitting sim props, and then I just copy them around all over the place to populate the area. I had 2 spots I wanted to add some playground, so I just create this little design that I can copy over both places. To not be too repetitive, I create a few more sets of tables and sitting sims, which I can place everywhere there is space for them. I try to always pair them up with small cafes, restaurants or bars, and you see these small scenes of places in the middle of staircases and other places that I mentioned earlier. As always with stairs, I gotta go through the pain of making them functional with paths. But it's so worth it when you see the Sims walking up and down stairs. I only recorded a small section of the path work, because it gets really repetitive. Once I get them aligned, it's just a case of upgrading them to invisible paths while making sure to keep it on elevated. And then it's on to the next set of stairs. For the church I placed earlier, I wanted to make this small plaza in front of it. Just an amazing Maria statue that I got from the workshop recently. Some big planters and some fountains. And with the pots I just make them go around it. And then I have some people park generators, so people will go and look at the statue. I'm also adding in this new selfie prop that came to the workshop quite recently. And I might add this just to different tourist attractions, because I think it's a super nice detail, just like the influencer with the selfie stick. And then behind the church I detail up the cemetery with fences, more gravestone, trees, benches and a mausoleum. Simple but effective. I want to name this hillside area after a good friend and big supporter of the channel, so this place will be called Sunshine Heights. For these wider streets I want to just have it really packed with outdoor seatings. We've all seen these areas on vacations, where it's just large rows of restaurants. Where the road gets narrow, I'll just put in some shopping to finish off the street. Because this is a very busy area, I put in some street trash props, not in the middle of the main street, but in small side streets and back streets that border it. And lastly, add some nice murals where I can find some big empty walls. So that is it for today's build. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed building it. Likes, comments and subscribes are greatly appreciated and will help me grow the channel. I also do have a Patreon page now if anyone wants to support me further. I hope to see you in the next one, and for now, stay tuned for some cinematics of the first part of Sunshine Heights.